AITA? Neighbor says I'm making them uncomfortable being around their kids. This is my first time posting. Sorry if I mess anything up. 40 meters. Live in a somewhat rural place. Decent land between houses. And a lot of forest. In between me and my neighbor's land there's a decent-sized pond. Technically it's all on my land, but one side of it is surrounded by neighbor land. There's a dock on it. I upgraded it about 15 years ago, so it's somewhat nice. It's right next to the property boundary, if that's important. I go down there somewhat often. I usually am down there for a few hours in the evening with my dog, my work computer, and sometimes a drink. My neighbors are in their late 20s, early 30s. Moved in a few years ago. They have a pair of young kids. Both under 10. I'd guess maybe 5/6 and 8/9. Their backyard is not far from where I am in the evening. And neither yard is fenced in. Every few days the kids come outside when I am down by the pond. I ignore them. But about a week ago my neighbors approached me and asked if I would go inside or somewhere else when their kids were outside. They said I made them feel uncomfortable letting their kids go in the backyard. And that their kids are also scared of my dog. I do not pay any attention to their kids. I usually am facing away from them. And never directly facing them. I do get why they would not want their kids outside alone with me nearby. As much as it sucks. Because this seems to have been misunderstood. I am not on any registry, nor do I have any criminal history. However, I get that they may feel uneasy about their kids being around a man that they do not know very well. My dog is always tied up when he's on the dock with me. He never barks when we're down there, usually he naps. He is a fairly large dog. 75 to 80 pounds. But there is almost no chance he could or would hurt them. They also expressed concern about me drinking. I do not get anywhere near the point of being intoxicated. It's at most one drink when I do have it. And I have it maybe a couple times a month. I told them that I appreciate them reaching out to me, but I'm not going to stop. This week I kept doing it. And I got a somewhat angry letter. I'm honestly starting to doubt if I should just head inside when they come out. AITA for not listening to them, and WIBTA if I kept doing what I'm doing? Edit. The pond is basically inaccessible from everywhere except the dock due to plants. So there is almost no chance the kids could fall in. NTA. Provide them with the names of good fence contractors. The entitled nerve of some people. That is your land. You have the right to the peaceful enjoyment of it. If they don't like it, too bad. They can sell their home. Stay inside. Build a tall privacy fence. What they can't do is tell you what to do. How dare you enjoy a nice evening in your own backyard? Think of the children that will watch you type something on your computer. Or drink something. NTA if they want to not see you that much. They can build a fence. You aren't streaking or getting wasted, so they have no right to tell you what you can and can't do on your property. NTA. It's your dock and your property. How entitled can they be? NTA. If they send another nasty letter, get a solicitor to send a cease and desist letter. They're harassing you and trying to dictate what you do on your own land. Unreal. NTA. If they had a problem with seeing a guy and his dog on a dock, they shouldn't have bought a house that overlooks a pond and dock. Or budgeted for a privacy fence around their backyard area. NTA. It's your dock to sit on if you want. They can build a fence. Their kids make me uncomfortable. NTA. It is your land. You do you. You could kindly recommend they build a fence at the property line if they are so concerned. If you're on your own land and not interacting or going near their children, then they have no right to tell you you can't sit on your own dock and have a drink quietly in the evening with your restrained dog next to you. We had neighbors once whose teenage son had a literal circle jerk with his buddies around the fire pit that was next to the chain link fence separating our properties. Now that was a problem. Deadpan face. NTA. It's your property. You're not belligerently drunk. It's your life and your yard. You can drink every single day if you want. They don't get literally any say in that unless you were to weirdly offer said alcohol to their children, which you obviously aren't. You're literally not even looking their direction. Your dog is napping and leashed. There is 0% you being an ah here. You're literally doing nothing wrong. If I were you, and can afford it, I would 100% be putting up a fence. They can GTFOH. Though honestly they are the ones with the problem. They should be the one forking out money for a fence. They won't though, because they know that will prevent them from accessing your pond. NTA. Put up no trespassing signs and make the parents aware that you cannot be responsible for the kids being on your property. You are worried that the children could fall into the pond or that the dog may misinterpret their presence. You need to protect yourself against a future lawsuit if one of them were to drown. Make it known in no uncertain terms that the children aren't welcome unaccompanied on your property, and that you have signs posted. They are old enough to read. I'm a former paralegal. By the way, you have what is known as an attractive nuisance on your land. And if something were to happen, well, you and or your insurance are going to be on the hook. NTA. Sounds like heaven to me. Don't let them interfere in your enjoyment of life. NTA. Send them links for those fast-growing evergreens people plant on property lines. And for privacy fences. They can build a fence if they're so concerned. It's your pond and you have a right to use it how you want. You're not being loud or disruptive. And your mere presence is not something you have to apologize for. NTA. NTA. If they don't like what you do on your property, they can stop using it, block off that pond, or send a trespassing notice to them. They can clutch their pearls in their own home from now on. How dare someone drink on their own land? Obviously NTA. He is free to keep his kids far from your property. NTA. So they want to control your life and what you do on your own property because they're irrational. Fear of your dog and your beer? Stop your communication with them and go about your business. NTA at all. It's your property. They have no business telling you what to do so long as you aren't invading their privacy or causing them harm. I would casually, in a civil tone, tell them that it is your property, and you are not interacting with their kids, or them in any way. Remind them you're simply working from home outside when it's nice, and your dog also needs fresh air and time outside of the house under your supervision. Remind them you are not interacting with their kids, and your dog is appropriately contained and no threat to them. Advise them that if they still, for some reason, have issue with this, you can refer them to a contractor that will help them get a fence built separating the properties. Otherwise, you aren't even interacting with them, so they can keep it to themselves. Or take their kids out when you aren't outside if it's such a big deal. NTA. You're on your property and you have a pleasant routine going. They have many other options and have chosen to try to force you to change? He'll know. They can be outside and supervise their kids. Put up a fence, but the best option would have been, and it may be too late for that now, to take the time to come out and get to know you. How many memorable evenings could the three of you had sipping drinks on your dock together? Just shootin' the shit while watching the kids play with your dog? They're the assholes, not you. NTA at all. It's your property. If they don't like seeing you there, they can put up a tall fence or move away. Keep all letters you get in case you need to prove harassment. NTA. It's your property, and you entitled to enjoy it doing. From the sounds of it, nothing remotely disruptive. If they are uncomfortable, that is on them for purchasing the house they did. I would look into the best way to document they're crazy. Just to cover your bases.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic AITA is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.